What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Just Be Real podcast. I am your host, Marissa Tong. Happy Tuesday if you guys are listening to this on the day that it comes out. I hope you guys are having an amazing week, an amazing start to your week. It is cold as hell here in Jersey, but we're pushing through. We're trying to get through it, okay? I'm counting down the days to this real hot in Curacao trip. And yeah, I'm ready to hop on a flight. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. We are still in our self-love and confidence series. We're actually going to be wrapping that up. So the rest of the month. So we have about four more episodes? Yeah, about four more episodes or three more, three more, including today. And we are going to be wrapping up the self love and confidence series. And today I want to talk a little bit about treating ourselves to experiences, to luxury, to things that just make us happy, right? As we creep up on the month of February, we know that February is all about pushing out Valentine's Day agenda, right? Like you're going to see Valentine's Day decorations and candy and everything, and I'm guilty of honestly turning the whole month into a whole Galentine's thing. But I think it's so easy to, with what I do, to kind of pivot in that way. And Galentine's has just become so freaking popular over the years because who doesn't want to love on their friends and love on themselves and have fun with girls? Like, I feel like it's just turned into another reason to hang out with your girlfriends and another reason to just treat yourself. So I do want to talk about that today. So as we get closer to Valentine's Day, right, a lot of people, I feel like, still might be in that headspace. I feel like we're slowly getting away from it now that we have Galentine's and all that. But I feel like a lot of people are still in that mindset of damn, I don't have a Valentine's. Damn, I don't have a boyfriend. Damn, I don't have a boo. Like, I'm lonely. I'm single. And it's like, no, girl. Even though, yes, you're single, you don't have a boo, whatever. But aside from the Galentine's Day things and hang out with your friends and doing all that girl stuff, you can treat yourself. You can treat yourself. You do not have to wait to have a partner. You don't have to wait to meet up with your friends. You don't have to wait till somebody asks you out. You don't have to wait until you get invited to something. You can literally treat yourself. So there's a few ways that we can do this. And we're not just talking about for the month of February. We're talking about in general, okay? Just in general. So the first way that we can treat ourselves is by just choosing something that feels really good to us. And this could be something on a daily basis. It could be something like taking a longer bath, right? Maybe just soaking in a bath, getting some nice oils or salts or something and making it a whole experience, right? Milo, you see I'm recording, okay? Don't do this. Not today, bro. Not today. So yeah, you can make it a whole experience, right? I think the thing that I love about self-care is that it's self, right? It's up to you. It's whatever you like. It's whatever you enjoy. It's whatever makes you feel good. That's the thing about self-care. It doesn't have to be what anybody else is doing. Your self-care practices don't have to look like anybody else's self-care practices. Girl, if you just laying in your bed and scrolling on TikTok, if that's self-care to you, if that makes you feel good, do it. If that's a treat to yourself, say that maybe you have a long list of things to do on your to-do list for the day, okay? And you complete 100% or maybe 90% of what you had to do that day. Maybe you just want to lay on the bed, lay on the couch and be on TikTok, and that's fine. And that's up to you. As long as it's not making you feel bad. I think that's the thing with social media. It does get tricky because there can be that small crossover point where, okay, it's a little bit too much. Girl, you're scrolling for too long, you're doing the most. Now you're on there, comparing yourself, comparing your life, feeling bad about things. And, oh, damn, I don't have enough, or why am I not this, or why don't I have that? So when it gets to that point, you gotta log off the app, sis. Okay. Log off the app. Just do a whole reset. That's not particularly one of my top ways that I would, practice self-care. It's definitely not scrolling. I think for me it's the complete opposite. Like I like being in peace and solitude. Like I feel like that's a treat for me, especially because my job is like me being around people most of the time or interacting with people most of the time. So I enjoy getting that time to myself to really like recharge, reset, just have time to think, space to think, allow my thoughts to come up. I love to treat myself to walks, right? Like even in this cold ass weather, like I still have Milo. So we go on nice walks when the sun is out. That's like the perfect time. We just bundle up, So if you're someone who you like walking or you want to walk more maybe and you're like using the cold as an excuse right now, like I'm sorry but that's really not an excuse. Like at nighttime sure, but if the sun is out, if you have sun, like you can literally get warm from the sun, but bundle up. There's times where like I'll have on multiple layers and like we'll walk about, I should be tracking how long we walk and I probably could see it on my Fitbit, but I just never check the distance. But we take a pretty long walk in the morning, about 15 minutes. It could be 20 on a nice day. But there will be times where like I'm bundled up and I'll be sweating by the time I get back to my place. So bundle up, walk fast, power walk, whatever you got to do. But, I think walking is a great form of self care that it just allows you to have time for yourself, like get off your phone. Maybe, you can listen to a podcast, maybe throw some music on, but walking in silence, I think, is such a treat because it allows you to just have those couple of minutes to just either hear nature, right? Hear whatever is going on, the birds, the trees whistling, the leaves, whatever it is, right? Maybe you're not someone that's really into that. So throw on music, listen to a podcast. But I think walking is a great form of self care. Another way that we can treat ourselves is by maybe treating yourself to like a meal, right? Like I'm someone who freaking loves food. I am a Taurus moon. Okay. So I love food. I love just like eating out, treating myself to nice meals. Like I feel like a nice meal can really turn my day around. It can really turn my mood around. Like if I have the perfect meal, the perfect temperature, all the right flavors, all the right sauces, like portions are good, like I am a happy girl. Like I am the happiest girl when I have my food, okay? So I love treating myself to food. Like if it's a day where I'm just completely swamped with work and I'm like, I thought I was going to cook and it doesn't look like that's going to happen, I will just order myself a nice meal, right? There's also ways where you can do this and maybe like turn it up a notch by taking yourself out, okay? And we can now relate this to maybe like Valentine's Day. I wouldn't say like go out by yourself on Valentine's Day. Like that might be, a little weird to be sitting there by yourself. But, to each his own. You could do it. If you're bold, you could do it. But you don't have to wait, around that time to do it. I think taking yourself out on dates, especially as like a single girl, and not saying that you even have to be single to do this. Honestly, I think it's completely healthy to take yourself on dates or just to go out and eat by yourself, even if you are in a relationship, right? Just giving yourself that time and space, allowing yourself to just get to know yourself, right? Like get to know yourself. That's really what it's about. Like, can you enjoy your own company? In the episode that's going to air this Friday, me and my girl Jasmine were talking about that. And she, we were talking about like how a lot of people aren't able to sit with themselves. A lot of people are not able to be with themselves. Like it, and it's so weird because it's like you literally are an individual. You are an individual. Individual means one. You're not with anybody else, right? Even if you're a twin, you're a triplet, yeah, like you share the womb with somebody. You came into this world with somebody. You have someone that has the same birthday as you, but that person is not you. You are you. You are your own person, okay? And I think it's important to get comfortable with yourself, get comfortable going out by yourself, get comfortable, you know, sitting in the uncomfortable, right? Like going out and eating sometimes, like, yeah, it could be weird, but like I think that's also one of those things that could build confidence. Going out and just being able to be like, yeah, like I'm here, and not thinking about anybody judging you, because honestly, there's always going to be someone that's going to judge you. But a lot of people, to be honest with you, are going to admire you. A lot of people are going to be inspired. I think there's a lot of people who would like to go out, and do things by themselves, but they just feel so codependent, or just like, it's going to make them seem like they're lonely or like they're a loser. So it's just like all of these assumptions, in their head, assuming that other people are going to judge them, assuming that they're weird, assuming that they look like, a lonely single loser. And that's really it, it's all made up. I think I give a lot of props, and I've also gotten a lot of compliments, even doing solo travel. I've taken, how many solo trips have I taken so far? I've taken 3 solo trips. The first one I took was to Arizona. I talked about it in a previous episode. That was in 2021, I believe. Yeah, 2021. That was the first time that like I officially went away. I've traveled by myself, like, I've gotten on planes by myself where I've met up with other people in different cities and all that, but that was the first time that I intentionally took a trip and booked a trip by myself, for myself, right? With no intention of like meeting anybody or wanting to meet anybody or needing to be around people, right? Like it was just for me. The same thing, my second trip that I went on solo was to Curacao, and that inspired the next retreat because I absolutely love the island. So, yeah, that helped me build even more confidence, right? And that helped me build even more confidence to then go to Bali, which was like a huge deal, right? Like that could be a scary thing. And I'm so proud of myself that I did that. And I would absolutely do it again, and I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to go to so many more places by myself because that's just something that I enjoy. And I can't say that everybody is going to enjoy solo travel or being by themselves or going out to eat and all that. Like it might not be for everybody. That's just, that's me, that's my personality. I'm an introvert, an extroverted introvert, right? Like my job is social, this is social. This isn't really social because right now I'm kind of talking to myself, but I'm kind of talking to you guys. So, extroverted introvert. So I definitely enjoy my alone time. I think I enjoy reflecting. I enjoy coming up with new ideas. I think, especially as a creative, we have to allow ourselves space to think and to come up with ideas and to reflect and to, yeah, just have that space create creatively, because I feel like when I'm around people constantly, my brain is like, it doesn't work the same way, right? There's too many thoughts, there's too many energies, there's too much going on. It's like I almost can't hear myself. I literally had to tell my girls in heels class, there was a lot of talking going on. They were excited. Like the girls, they saw each other after like a while. So they were excited, and class is always a vibe. It is also like a social thing, right? It's not just like come in, dance and learn. It's also like it's community. So, people are socializing. But they were talking a little bit. If y'all listen to this, y'all know who you are. And I had to be like, yo, like I really can't teach this way. Like I can't hear myself think. So when there's a lot going on, a lot of chatter, a lot of voices, a lot of energies, a lot of movement, like it's very hard for me to focus on what I'm doing and to create. So I think just for me personally, and you might be someone who can relate to this, but I definitely need space and time by myself to recharge, reset, and refocus. And one of the last ways that I'm going to mention for us to treat ourselves, right? It could be something like a spa day. And this is something that you could do again solo, right? Or you could do it with a friend if you feel more comfortable doing it that way. But I think spas are one of those places where like it's not weird for you to go by yourself. I think it's very normal, and it's actually I would say that you probably get the best experience out of going to the spa by yourself, because that's really a moment of like zen and quiet and peace and really just like listening to your body. So book that spa trip, girl. Like book that spa trip. If you're someone who's like, worried about prices and all that, like there's so many deals and discounts on like Groupon. And I don't know if you're listening to this outside of the country. I know I have some listeners outside of the country, outside of America, but if you guys are here in America in the States, like get on Groupon. Like I have found so many deals on Groupon, and I'm sure there's other websites too where you can go on and find spa deals. There's like a website called Spa Finder. There's so many resources, guys. Like it's 2024. Like y'all can find all the deals. Okay. So yeah, get your ass to the spa. Get your ass to the spa, okay? Chill out, but also just think of other ways outside of the ways that I've mentioned that you could treat yourself. What do you enjoy? What do you love doing? What do you love to partake in? What are some activities that you like? What are things that light you up? What are things that make you happy? What are things that calm you down? What are things that make you feel like yourself, right? I think the point of self care and treating yourself and really like taking time for luxury and pouring into yourself is to feel like yourself, is to get back to yourself, right? That's really the goal. Anytime we're doing something for ourselves, for self care, it's so that we can get back to feeling our best. That's the ultimate goal, to feel our best. So, what are some things that you could do to feel your best, right? Is it soaking in that bathtub, right? Is it going to the spa? Is it getting a facial? Is it, turning off your phone for an hour or two, and taking that alone time? Is it taking that walk couple blocks around, where you live? Is it scrolling on TikTok? Does that make you feel good? It could. I don't know. It could. But no judgment here. Do what you do. Okay? Do what you do. That's really the whole gist here, the summary of this conversation. So, I hope this inspired you to take some time for yourself this week. Carve out at least like, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours a day if you can. Like I know time be crazy. Okay, trust me. Trust me, trust me, trust me. I am absolutely the person that's always looking for more time. That's wondering, where did the time go? Okay, like one of my girls, she had asked me, what's something that's like your biggest headache or concern? And I was like, honestly, it's time. Honestly, it is time. Like trying to squeeze in all the things that I do. And there's nothing that I regret doing. I feel like my life is pretty full. As an entrepreneur, you're always going to have a full plate. And the more that you expand and scale, the goal is to be able to hire people to delegate, right? To pass off tasks that maybe, they're just like tedious tasks, or they're just things that like you'd rather be putting your time into something else and just passing off those tasks to someone else. So I've been fortunate where like, I'm now at that place where I can delegate certain things, but there's also still a lot of things that I have to do, on a daily basis. And it's always going to be like, that little struggle of like, I don't really have time, and then there's like trying to find that balance. And balance is like such a foreign word, I think, for entrepreneurs. It's like balance, what? Like balance to me, I think, is just allowing yourself to have ebbs and flows in life, right? Like knowing that, okay, maybe this week, like I'm gonna be super busy, like I'm gonna be super focused, like maybe less social time, right? And then you might have a week where it's like more social time. Like I literally saw most of my friends last week, and I feel like it's usually like that, where I have like one week where I catch up with like most of my friends and I see my friends that I haven't seen in a long time. So balance is like that to me, just having like certain weeks or certain days dedicated to certain things, and just knowing that you can't do it all. It's not going to happen. Like there's no way that I can do it all in one day. Even being realistic with your to-do list, right? Like I'm someone that always has a long to-do list, but I've talked about in a previous episode, like kind of going with like 3 specific things, like 3 big tasks, 3 main tasks. What are those 3 things that I definitely for sure want to get done today? Like it's a non-negotiable. I need to get these things done, right? And then the other things, okay, if I'm able to get to this, that's a plus. If I'm able to get to those things, that's amazing. But I'm going to focus on these 3 things. So, finding balance is going to be a lifelong thing, and I hope that you guys are constantly striving towards balance, but not to putting too much pressure on yourself. Like, it ain't that serious, okay? So just take care of yourself. Make sure you are putting yourself first, especially if you are a mom, a real mom of like humans, or a dog mom, okay? My little baby right here. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy this episode. Speaking of self care, the journals are available for pickup and delivery. So you guys can head over to my website, www.realrhythmdanceandfitness.com, and order your copy. Okay. And if you guys are looking forward to the next retreat, I think I announced on the last solo episode that we'll be having our summer solstice retreat from June 21st to the 23rd. Details will be coming very soon. So if you guys are definitely interested in that, lock those dates in and subscribe to my newsletter so you guys can be the first to know when I open registration. Also, you can follow our retreat page, Real Hot Retreats, and follow me on my personal Wrist Fit Kitty on Instagram, as well as the official podcast account. So let's just be real pod. If you guys are listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure you rate and review the podcast, preferably 5 stars. I would appreciate it so much. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and drop a comment. Let me know what you enjoyed about this video, or let me know something that you're going to do for self-care. How do you treat yourself? What's something that's luxurious to you? And it doesn't have to be expensive to be luxurious. Guys, thank you so much. I will catch you in the next episode on Friday. Take care of yourselves.